I am the shadow teacher, and today looks like yet again I am the 5 o'clock shadow teacher. And this YouTube channel, this Shadow Teacher 33 YouTube channel that I'm sharing with you, that I'm offering to you, what this is shaped up into being is my personal insights that I've figured out on my quest, my hero's journey to embody my fullest potential in this human experience. And when we're looking at our potential, we're looking multidimensionally. We're looking at physics as well as metaphysics. We're looking at the mind, the body, and the spirit, and how they are interconnected. And we're looking at what feeds all of these systems, what strengthens them, as well as what takes away, what detracts. And we hear about detoxing quite a bit in fitness. We hear about detoxing the body, and this concept can be extended as well to detoxing the mind and detoxing the spirit. And we have all variety of toxins. We have environmental toxins, pollution in the air, EMF, a bad diet, all kinds of things we can put under this umbrella. But one of the most dangerous toxins I find, and it's been a big challenge for me, but something that I've found great benefits when I've taken practice of eliminating this toxin, is toxic people. Toxic people, people who are obsessed with drama and bullshit and are so passionate about their stories, and just the types of people who just suck up the energy in a room and have no care for any other human being other than the utility of that human being, other than what they could use them for and making them feel better about themselves. These are what I would call toxic people. And when you have these people in your life, or at least close to you, you're probably around these people, but not in your close bubble. But if you keep these people too close, what you're going to find is that if you have a meaningful goal, if you have a purpose in something that you're striving for, these people make it considerably harder to move forward on that path. They take so much of your energy. They suck so much of your life force. And often people will find themselves with physical ailments when they're around toxic people long enough, and they take that toxicity on themselves. They start to get physically ill, physically sick. They start to gain weight because their body and mind becomes under stress. They are always fighting something in their environment. There's something that these people bring into their environment that their soul is not at harmony with. And so they go into a fight or flight just to protect. That self-preservation mechanism goes on, and it goes on in a deep physiological way. Now, how do we let these people in? So me personally, it is no surprise that I have a great disdain for NPCs and convention, and find most NPCs and just conventionally minded people very boring. And though these are people that there's a certain level of toxicity in their banality, but these are not really people I put in that ultra toxic category. So what I found with ultra toxic people, on first glance, they can be actually very compelling, very interesting, very charismatic. They are so bold a lot of times and so dramatic in their actions and in their stories, they can instantly grab your attention. You say, wow, this person's kind of interesting. This person's kind of fun. Maybe I should hang out with them more. And then the next thing you know, if you're not careful, if you don't have strong boundaries, then they are sucking you into their story. You're just becoming an extra in their ultra dramatic story, their reality TV show. And they just are sucking you in, and if you're not careful, you will lose yourself. You will lose that which is actually valuable and relevant to you, your own story. And I find people who suffer with abandonment wounds, people who suffer from self-worth issues. They are prey for these toxic people. Empaths, people who are sensitive, who are caring, people who want to help a lot of times, are great prey for these toxic people. And I don't want to say narcissist here because that, narcissists are a type of toxic person, but this umbrella goes beyond that. And these people, again, they put on such a boisterous front. They seem very loud and very confident, but when you get to know them, you find these people are the most guilty of being addicted to victim identification. And that's how the empath gets sucked in, is these people are always seeking attention through a victim story, a narrative where they've been wronged by somebody or the world in general, and these people are loaded with them. They always come back to these stories because they're trying to paint themselves it's not a hero story. It really is a victim story because these people haven't made progress in their lives. When you listen to their frame, they've lost something, they've failed, and everything's in terms of them losing something and it not being their fault, that it being someone else's fault. And that's how they suck the empath in. Someone with a low sense of self-worth, they suck those people in because maybe these people don't feel worthy of having something better, or maybe the front that this toxic person puts on. If the person with low sense of self-worth, if this nasty person who is critical of so many things in the world, if they can win their approval, then maybe that will validate their self-worth. People with abandonment issues, when you're afraid of being by yourself or not knowing what's coming next, and the only thing you have in your life is a toxic person, you might want to hold on to that person just out of fear of being alone. But again, heavy, heavy price to pay in all levels, physiologically, mentally, emotionally, because these people will suck the life out of you, literally. They are like demonic entities in that way. So I've already referenced the cure to this. The cure is boundaries, is having strong boundaries and having strong self-worth, being grounded in your own frame, your own purpose, your own path, and valuing that so much that you simply are not willing to let these people get close. You have to be selfish here in a positive way. It's a good thing. That's another person, a martyr, someone who's learned that it's guilty or it's a bad thing to be selfish. So they're always giving themselves and too much of themselves to these other people who are all too willing to take from them. So when you take that power and you take that energy back and you put it back into yourself, and you put this boundary up to where you're not going to let this person in. You're not going to let them so close to you, that immediately heals or just sets up a good barrier to where that toxicity is not going to infect you, not going to corrupt you. So, as I mentioned earlier, these are highly dramatic people, and they love being a victim. So the other thing they do is they love to push your buttons to where you fire back and you get to where you're speaking abusively to them, because that's going to feed that victim story. Because these people love if they can get you talking on their level, and that also continues to engage you. When you say something nasty to them, that connects you more to them. So when you're pushing them out, I've found being kind, actually, like seeing some good in them, but setting a kind boundary, that's not for them, that's for you. Like when you can set that firm boundary and be kind in how you do it, that dissolves that energy, that dramatic, sticky energy that these people are so proficient with. And that sets to where you're on the path of letting go of them, getting to where you can walk on and remove yourself. And you're going to become less attractive to them too, because I guess they call this gray rocking people when they're dealing with narcissists. It's like this term of just giving them basic, very little, but keeping your soul, keeping the good parts of yourself in that bubble and not letting them in. So Toxic people, they can wreak havoc on your life and the lives of others and on every piece about you. So you got to kick them the fuck out. Kick them the fuck out and know your own value, know your worth, and keep them on the outside. Keep that bubble up, not let them in. So I'm going to end this transmission. Be strong, be well, my friends, and I will see you on the other side.